A sigh of relief was breathed collectively by hockey fans in the Delaware Valley last night. After a slow start that saw the centerpiece of the Flyers rebuild, MATVEI Michkov, score just one goal, a single goal in the first 13 games, and it was in garbage time of a loss to the Winnipeg Jets. The Mad Russian netted his third in 3 games on Wednesday night, tying the game for the Flyers with under 4 minutes to go in the second period. And like the previous 2, this goal was consequential, sparking an offense that was dead prior to his lighting the lamp. And this is what Michkov did so regularly last season that it was kind of jarring not to see him just do it automatically to start his sophomore year. And just how often, it wasn't just how often he made great plays last year, but when. The overtime winners, game tires like last night, Philly's opening goal to kickstart the offense like each of the 3 during this little streak have been. We came to depend on Michkov to be that guy for this team, even at 19, 20 years old like he was as a rookie. And now, less than a month until his 21st birthday, we're seeing that guy again. And despite any other complaints we have about the team, slow starts to games, lack of shots on goal, the face-off problem, at least we appear to have that guy, and it is a huge freaking relief, because no matter how optimistic or logical I tried to approach the situation, that thought crept into my head at least a little bit intrusively. What if we got it wrong again? Hey, everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to Philadelphia. Almost said PHLY Flyers because I'm wearing a Flyers hat, but no. Welcome to Philadelphia, presented by Bet Parks. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the afternoon. Joining me live in the Xfinity Lounge, it is the host of PHLY Phillies and my esteemed producer, Tyler Zulli. What's going on today, Tyler?
You don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. You don't do it. Don't put that evil on me.
And we'll get into this after headlines, because it was just one of those things that, like, I'm trying to push it back, like a bad dream. Like speaking of hilarious movies, like the Bad Trip in Dewey Cox Walk Hard, where he's just like, no, and he's being like attacked, and like that was the thought of MATVEI Michkov. What if we got it wrong again? And these things just, they kind of creep into your head now and then, because we have all this past trauma, and past trauma is going to be a recurring theme throughout the day. But let's hit some headlines. First one up: Flyers lose 2-1 in overtime last night. They have gone to overtime 7 times in 15 games. It's absurd. And while it is nice not to just be like simply blaming the goaltenders, it keeps me sharp, honestly. It keeps the shows fresh. We don't just get to go on and be like, well, they were okay, but the goalie sucked, so they lose 4-2. We did that a whole lot last season, and really for like the last season and a half, but that's not the case this year. But it is a little bit of a bummer to finally be getting goaltending again and just not be able to support it at all. Dan Vladar is without a doubt the MVP of this team right now. It's been one hell of a signing. The Flyers goalie coach, Kim Dillabaugh, kind of on the hot seat right now. He was the only coach retained from the previous regime, and Danny Briere didn't exactly give him like a glowing vote of confidence this offseason. He was like, yeah, we're going to give him a look. And it was very much Dillaba's idea. Like, I know what happened to him in Calgary. I think there's something there beyond the numbers. I think I can work with this guy and turn him into a really good goalie. Danny was like, all right, but like, it's your job. This is going to be your job. And listen, there's a lot of season left, but right now he's one of the best goalies in hockey. He has been fan-freaking-tastic. The 2 goals that he even lets in last night, I don't know what the hell he's supposed to do about those. He got run over once. He looked like he injured his wrist once. He was just awesome. But it is a little bit of a bummer never to score. I do miss scoring goals. Those were fun. But
3 goals or less in 5 of their last 6, 7 of their last 10. Yeah. They've won some of those games. The 2-1 win against the Wild. They had a 3-1 win against the Preds a couple weeks ago. But there are a lot of 3-2, 2-1 losses that have stacked up over the last few weeks.
And I am going to give the team the grace that I said I was going to give Michkov, because now that it seems like Michkov's fine, we determined he's about 90% of what he was last season, and as he works himself into shape, as he takes to the coaching, he's basically being coached in the offensive zone for the first time in his career. John Tortorella didn't coach on the offensive side of the red line. With Sochi, it was do whatever the hell you want out there, kid. The rest of these guys are just collecting a paycheck. Like they're basically the Washington Generals. I'm gonna give the team, now that it's all right, Mish, you're fine. I was gonna give him till his 21st birthday before I really started to worry, and that's December 9th. So I am going to give the team that grace period. I believe they play the 8th and the 10th in December. I'm going to give them till the 10th before I'm like, what the hell are we doing here, boys? Because it is a new thing for a lot of these guys to be under a new head coach, to get away from what they were doing for, basically 3 years under John Tortorella. Just a lot of young players have only ever had one NHL coach. So I'm willing to just go, okay, we're going to give it a minute before I judge them too harshly, but come on, man. 2-1. 2-1 in overtime.
We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and it's still true to this point. I mean, it's 16 games. You're what, less than a fifth of the, or about a fifth of the way through the season at this point. You have 19 points. You're a point back of the Rangers ahead of you. You're 2 back of Pittsburgh, who's ahead of you. You're 3 back of second place in the Metro to the Hurricanes. The Devils have 25. Every team in the Atlantic has 22 or less. You're right in the thick of things, but I think this is the spot where if they don't make the postseason, we could turn around and go, those OT losses where you got 1, getting a second, not on all of them, but in a handful here and there, getting that second point could be detrimental or beneficial depending on what side of the playoff spectrum you end up looking at, because they are 2 points out of a playoff spot, 3 points out of a division spot. Like, they're not that far off. I know there's still 60 games left, but they're not that far off despite the offensive woes at times.
No, and that's why I'm going to give them this grace period, because it does feel like, while they're kind of just mediocre right now, as is most of the Eastern Conference, that's the base now. Like, in my head, there's just so much more room to grow for this team that I'm not going to crush them for what they've been doing. It has been fun for the most part. They've played in very competitive games, and that's nice to see. But at a certain point, I just need to see more goals. Like, come on. Get more shots on net. Don't have 5 shots through 30 minutes. That's not enough.
I'm a big believer when it comes to shot totals. I'm a big believer in quantity over quality over quantity. Assuming you get to a threshold of a certain number.
Yes, 100%. And the league is trending that way. That's why goalie save percentages are down across the league. It wasn't that long ago. The average was between 910 and 915. And now it's you're over 900, you're good. Teams are just shooting less and trying to take more dangerous shots. I get that. Don't just fire away. There's one team in hockey that's whole strategy is we're going to throw $100 at the net. But other than that, it is quantity over quality over quantity. But it can't be none though. You have to get some quality shots then. You can't just never have the puck, and that's kind of what happened a lot last night.
I do think there is a point of the quality over quantity is a fair point that I still hold firm, but I think at some point it's put a shot on the pads, see if it gets redirected,
See what happens.
get a rebound. You know, those types of things do still have merit in the game. Doing it within the context of trying to take, like, I don't need my point man blocked and then a 2-1 breakaway the other way.
Yeah.
But also, too, if you're in the slot, like, fire one on the pads and see what happens.
Just kind of give it a shot, see how it goes. All right, Paul Skenes of the Pittsburgh Pirates wins a Cy Young in his second season. It was cool to see Sanchez get the recognition. Like you've said many times, Chris Sanchez had a Cy Young caliber season. It's just, there was a dude who was a little better. And like Skenes was awesome. But the real headline is the report that surfaced the other day that he has told teammates, according to allegedly an anonymous teammate, he hopes to play for the Yankees one day, hopes to be traded before he can become a free agent after the 2029 season. And Skenes addressed it yesterday, said, I don't know where that came from. The goal is to win, and the goal is to win in Pittsburgh. Wrong, Paul. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. You need to apply pressure to that joke of a franchise that has you held hostage until 2030. The Pirates have missed the playoffs and finished under 500 in 30 of the last 33 seasons. 2013 through 2015 is when they last made the playoffs. They have a 5-game NLDS loss. All right, that's fine, you know. You hosted a couple games, you took it to 5, didn't go your way. The other 2 years, it's 1-game playoff losses in which they were outscored 12-0. This is a joke of a franchise, and you should go into the owners or the GMs or the president's office every single day and peel away a little calendar counting down to your free agency as if it's Rachel Phelps in Major League. That's how you should be teaching. That's how you should be treating that team that is going to waste your prime, as they have so many pretty damn good players. I cannot imagine playing for a minor league team in a major league stadium. It has to be crushing. Yes, that is sometimes why they say that's what the money's for. But like, you know, the money isn't amazing when you're that age in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, it's an organization that we were talking about this off the air before the show started. They have not signed a multi-year free agent that was not a returnee since Ivan Nova in 2016.
That was 10 years ago.
That's a decade ago, Bill.
That's 10 years without a multi-year free agent. They shouldn't be allowed to exist. It would be great if we had, the European soccer model where you can expand and contract and you demote teams and promote. And it's just the American model of sports, that wouldn't work. But perhaps in this one instance, it should. You take them out of the NL, you take the A's out of the AL, and be like, work your way back. Figure it out. Play each other. One of you's coming back. Merge your teams and play together in Kansas City. I don't know. But it's a freaking disgrace that there's just some teams in baseball that don't actually exist. They're just, like we said about MATVEI Michkov's Sochi team, they're just there to fill out someone else's schedule.
Yeah, they're feeder programs to the bigger teams. They are a farm system. It is Major League Experience farm system. I guess Major League Experience in quotes. You're up against Major League competition. You're just not one of those teams. All right, and finally, last headline is just A.J. Brown. Speaking of voicing discontent, A.J. Brown addressed his jokes about the S show that is everything outside of his family life yesterday. And he said he's not apologizing for his comments because anyone with eyes can see the offense has problems. And yeah, he's correct in that. And his quote, this is the quote that people are going to pick apart. Last year is what it was. Thank you for the ring, but it's a new season. They adapted. We have to adapt, and we have to continue to get better and find new ways. That's where the frustration comes in. I want to win, yes, and help contribute as well and do our thing on offense as well. I think that's fair. Yeah, I really don't have much of a problem with any of this. And this is, of course, the caveat. As long as they keep winning, he's not a distraction, Yeah, I mean, we can all see it and look at it with our eyeballs that an offense that has the potential to have multiple 1,000-yard receivers is not clicking and firing on all cylinders the way that it should. An offense that should target its 6'4", big-bodied, strong-hand, great route-running receiver 125 times in a season isn't going to get anywhere close to that. All those things are absolutely true. So for like us to sit here and go, well, I've seen people that are like, he's got to stop complaining. He's no, he's not. He is an elite receiver who is not being schemed up like an elite receiver. The winning masks a lot of stuff, and we've talked plenty about that, but this is also a guy whose frustrations are valid, and he's too good to be putting up 2 for 23 stat lines. Like, on a weekly basis.
I got a tweet yesterday about just get him more touches than Will Shipley. Like, I'm not asking for the world here. That comment I made, like, all right, he had 3 targets and 2 catches. Will Shipley had 6 touches. It shouldn't be triple. I don't think. And it was like, oh, well, they're winning. Why does it matter? Forcing the ball is how you turn it over. No one is asking them to force the ball into double coverage. If you think A.J. Brown got open 2 times in that game against, like, that means he stinks. Like, that means he's worse than Todd Pinkston. Like, that's really, if you think he only got open 2 times, like, then you think he's not good. And I know he's very good. So, like, you just gotta, we're not talking about, yes, it's great. You win 10-7, Monday Night Football in Lambeau. That's a good win. It's a win you get to mark down while you're still figuring things out. That's good. But it's not about winning 10-7 one game in freaking November. It's about, as I've said time and time again, chasing greatness, putting yourself in the New England and Kansas City conversation. That's where this franchise is headed. If you think you're winning a playoff game with 10 points and A.J. Brown being a non-factor, I don't know what to tell you. Like, they won't. They will lose to the Rams. They will lose to the Bucks. And I think the Eagles are better than all these teams. But they're not going to win with that strategy. Like, it's not going to happen. You need to have your best players play great. This isn't nuts.
And you talked about not forcing, not throwing into double teams. You have the ultimate protector of the football at quarterback. Jalen Hurts, one of his best skill sets, and I know people get frustrated at times. He holds the ball a little too long and blah, blah, blah. Jalen Hurts, one of his best skill sets is not turning the football over, which is a skill set that I think gets overlooked because he doesn't throw for 400 in a game all the time, right? And he throw 187 in a touchdown, wins you the football game. But he's an ultimate possession protector, and that is something that I think plays in the favor of this conversation. We're not asking about throwing the ball into bad spots. We're talking about scheming your best receiver open, because when you have both those guys on the outside, one of them or Dallas Goedert should be open pretty much every play. And I think when you're not scheming them properly, that's when these conversations come into play.
And really, that's what it comes down to, is scheming something up to get the ball in his hands, not just to keep him happy, but yeah, that's like a nice side benefit to keep one of your best players happy. But because the more the ball is in his hands, the more chances you have at an explosive play. Explosive plays have been hard to come by this year. They don't have a ton. They go 3 and out all the time. You can take care of both of those things by getting A.J. Brown the ball more. All right, on the other side, we're going to talk some more Flyers and some of that past trauma that maybe leaks into our evaluations, but I got to tell you about our presenting sponsor. Whether your favorite team wins or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx online casino app. They have the most amazing selection of online slots. We're talking Huff and More, Puff, Fireblaze, Sky Queen, Cash Eruption, 88 Fortunes, slots based on your favorite streaming shows like The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, and nostalgic favorites like The Goonies. And let's not forget, it just starts there. They also have all your casino favorites. That's right, blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, baccarat. So many ways to win on the BetParx casino app, and now is the time to get in, because new users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. All you got to do is go to betparx.com and download the app to enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. Must be 21 plus and in PA, Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play. You play to win. You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know, when your team starts or ends the week in one week of the football season, The next beginning of the next week feels like it's right around the corner, and you've got football tonight. You've also got a huge slate of college and pro football this weekend, hockey, basketball throughout the weekend as well. And listen, if you call yourself a sports fan, you have to get Xfinity because it's the ultimate sports destination. It's where you find all of the best games and your favorite teams all in one place. And the way that you watch, it becomes next level. The perfect fan flex for all of your incredible sports watching action right there from your living room. Plus, with Xfinity's best picture and sound enhanced with 4K, it sounds so clear, it looks so clear that you're going to feel like you're at the ballpark, the arena, the stadium, whatever it might be anyway, without having to battle the traffic. And sometimes you can have 4 games going at once, because why not? You can. It's one of the perks of Xfinity. Next game day, make sure the big fan in your life isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that.
All right, welcome back, and we are going to talk a little bit more Flyers. As I opened the show with MATVEI MICHKOV today, it was some of those intrusive thoughts I told you about. You know, I had someone in my DMs sending me the comparison of MATVEI MICHKOV's first 93 games or whatever at the time to Niall Yakupov's first 93 games, and that's always it's one of the things that pisses me off. Compare him to someone who isn't a Russian, because that's just an internal bias. Oh, guess what? He's actually got the exact same numbers as Nathan MacKinnon to start his career, but since Nathan MacKinnon is a good Canadian boy, we're not going to make that comparison. Oh no, we couldn't do that. Their rookie numbers almost exactly the same. Their numbers through 95 games almost exactly the same. But no, we're going to compare him to a bust. And listen, it is some of it's just that internal bias, and some of it is the scars of past trauma. He now has goals in 3 straight games. The coach is playing him a little bit more. You had the note about the shooting percentage because he was such a good shooter last year, and it just felt like a lot of his shots were not dangerous this year. He was missing the net too much, and suddenly, in 3 games, he's gone from 4% to 14. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, the 13.8 doesn't feel like it's astounding compared to, if you live in that 15, 16 range, my goodness.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
20 is unsustainable.
Right.
And 10 is about average.
So to
go
go
a
up
little above, that's sustainable.
To go up to the near 14% and do it within the span of 3 games. He's not taking a ton of shots, but he has scored now those 3 goals on 4 shots in the last 3 games. So you're going to quickly go from 1 goal on 25 shots to 4 goals on 29 shots. It feels a whole heck of a lot better just from a sheer optics standpoint. Yeah. And I do think there's a mentality of all right, finally, put the puck in the back of the net. Now it's time to take the lid off.
Rick Tocchet said it. Sean Couturier said it. He was pressing. You could tell he had weight on his shoulders because the puck wasn't going in for him. He wasn't playing well. He came in out of shape. Listen, a 20-year-old kid had a fun summer and didn't do all the work he should have. Is that good? Absolutely not. No excuses. Play like a champion. But I can forgive it a little bit if he recognizes it the way he did. He came out in a press conference the other day and said, listen, I did all the wrong things this summer. I took 4 months off and 4 months off the ice, which he's never done. I'm sure he hit the gym a decent amount, because he does look thick, but he just tried something different and then fell behind and then hurt his ankle and he couldn't catch up. And now he's working to get back in shape. And now that he is in decent enough shape, it's showing. But the scars of past trauma definitely creep in. I think I'm guilty of this most in baseball, Tyler, because prospects in baseball take so long. How many homegrown greats have the Phillies ever even had? But whenever the idea of making a trade comes up, I always think the next big thing. Well, we can't possibly trade Andrew Painter. I'm yeah, man, and Sixto Sanchez was the next Pedro. I don't know. Probably not. And I always say things oh yeah, man, I really miss Lou Marson and Kyle Drabeck. I'm glad we got to see Dom Brown's career play out. How could I have lived without Scott Kingery, Tommy Joseph? Always make the trade in my mind, because baseball is so unpredictable. When you get a known commodity, I don't trust the thing at all. I don't trust prospects at all, especially in this organization. You're a logical thinker, but you've seen as much of this as I have. Does that creep into your mind?
Yeah, I think baseball, you're right. Baseball is the biggest one because the prospect pool is so large and it takes so long to get there. When you draft a player in the NBA, they're either an NBA player or they're not.
Right
and there's
away.
levels to NBA player, but like they're not all going to be LeBron and Jordan, but like you could be a serviceable NBA player in your first 10 games. You'll learn quickly if they're not. We learned very quickly that Anthony Bennett was not an NBA player, but and you can kind of pivot in a quicker rate than you can with baseball players because baseball has rookie ball, single A, high A, double A, triple A, and that's cut down from what it was a decade ago. So you think about all of like the turmoil and conventional thinking of like, this is a top prospect. Might be. Very well could be.
Could be.
But also, you could have a guy that does not pan out the way that you expected them to. We think about all of the players the Phillies acquired over the last, that 2008 to 2012 run. The guys that they gave up, how many of them went on to have legit MLB careers?
Like Carlos Carrasco had a nice run.
And Gio Gonzalez.
And
then Travis d'Arnaud took a decade to get
and it's
good.
10 years later,
right.
exactly.
So for all of those guys, you also have all the guys that, wow, I really like that prospect, and he never became anybody.
I was a huge Lou Marson guy. I was bummed when they gave up Lou Marson for Cliff Lee.
I always talk about the run where they were bad. Everybody has a player that they latched onto. Like, I would have sworn to you that Nick Williams was going to become a good player. He didn't.
Looked like a ball player.
People talked about Altair and Ruff and all of these guys. And now, granted, that Phillies run, nobody got good except for Hoskins. But
that's the crazy part is not one turned out.
Right.
Like, maybe that colors it all, but like that's sort of, we've gotten this wrong so many times with so many different prospects that like, even after watching Michkov in his rookie year look like an excellent player, it started to creep in for me. Like, I don't know, we've been wrong. We've been wrong way more than we've been right.
Yeah, don't let it sit on you. I think that this kid's going to be fine.
Even guys that like turned out to be decent NHLers. Ivan Provorov is a great second pair defenseman. He's a really good second pair defenseman. But his first couple of years is like, this dude's Duncan Keith, who just got into the Hall of Fame the other day. And now I'm like, we don't miss him. We don't like miss him at all. He's fine. He's already like day one of his extension in Columbus. It was like, oh, he's overpaid. Like it was, and I thought he was going to be freaking awesome. We do this all the time. Do you have anyone, like, who was your guy that you were like, this is a can't miss? Any sport.
Yeah, I would think, I'm trying to think off the top of my head that, like, who I really, really hyped up that I was big time wrong on. I'm just thinking, like, the Phillies prospects pool. I was a huge Franklin Colomb fan. Remember who he got traded for?
No.
Nope, exactly, right? Everybody loved Sixto. You brought up Sixto at the time. He was a big one. I think... when you talk about the NFL draft, it's like, wow, John Ross is an absolute burner. What a great athlete. And then we realize, oh, wait, he can't actually play wide receiver.
Yeah, he's just fast.
So there's, I always talk about for every guy that does pan out, you probably have 5 or 6 that don't. And so it's hard. I get playing that comparison game. When I look at Michkov, though, I look at a guy who the talent level is undeniably there. And I think once he kind of got his head out of his ass a little bit with this summer thing, and again, young kid who recognizes the mistake that he made and is starting to correct himself.
Didn't do it right.
I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see like Danny and Jonesy haven't screwed up yet. Don't put prior mistakes on the current regime. It's kind of hard, man, because I'm going to be a fan long after they're not part of this organization. Well, I mean, no one's ever not a part of the Flyers organization once they are, but like long after they're not in the jobs, I'm still going to be a Flyers fan. I'm probably still going to be talking about them for a living because I really don't have any other like profitable skills. It's hard because the logo stays the same. And also, like Danny has been here, and the guy who does the draft, Brent Flair in charge of the draft, he's still here from past regimes. So, like, not that much has changed. And, yeah, like, I guess Scott Lawton is a good one just because good player. He can always play on my team, but there were the, like, immediate Mike Richards comparisons. And it was, all right, man, this guy's physical. He can score. He's a center. Like, we figured it out. We replaced him. All is well. And he's a really, really nice third-line player in his prime. He got some time on the first, second line and put up more points than ever expected. But Toronto gave us a first-round pick for him, and every Leafs fan is pissed about it right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
they are not happy.
I'm thinking about the Flyers. The one that I latched onto that I thought was going to be better than he was. I ended up somehow becoming a big Matt Reed fan.
Oh, I love Reeder.
And it was, again, a fine player, but like nothing special. So I get you get latched onto some players that don't end up panning out. But
I always said Jordan Wheel would have one season where he scored like 28 goals, get some team to overpay him, and he's set for life.
And then maybe not score 28 in his career.
And then never do it again. Like, he'll just shoot 30% one year, because that happens sometimes for skilled guys. And then he'll shoot 9 for the rest of his life, score 15 goals, and you're paying him $8 million. But it never really panned out. But I wasn't totally wrong. He went to the KHL and has been like one of the best players in the KHL for the past couple of years. So I wasn't completely wrong. But there are just those intrusive thoughts, man, about stuff. Like, all of these guys, when you get it right, it feels so good. Like, I was so excited for that Trey Burton signing when they got him as a UDFA. And like, he wasn't a superstar, but he was the ultimate utility player, like blocking punts. Sure. Participating in the Philly special. He had the 1 year with a bunch of touchdowns. Like, it feels so good when you get that stuff right, because we're usually wrong.
Yeah, bringing up that one, I think the one guy to me, and Devon can attest to this because we were on the air together at the time, when they moved back in the 3rd round and everybody was like, what are you doing? They're going to get Aleem McNeil. And I'm like, no. You want Milton Williams. This kid's going to be good. He might take some time, but you want Milton Williams. Ended up being a really nice player, turned it into a huge contract. You're right. I always talk about it. I feel like it's like playing cards, right?
Yeah.
Or if you could come up better than 50%, you're a winner in my book.
And like, when you start moving down, like, football's different because there's so many positions. Like, you get starters in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th all the time. Like, that's a regular thing. But like, in hockey, I have heard that Danny Briere and the front office as a whole, after the 2nd, maybe 3rd round, they don't care. So if it's like, yo, to finish this trade, you got to throw in a 4th. He's like, if that gets it done, here you go. Because you know what that's not going to be? An NHL player. Like, yeah, man, you need organizational depth, and maybe you get lucky because that's what it is. It's rolling dice at that point in the draft. You don't know. But that's kind of how I feel a lot of the time. And because of that crapshoot and that uncertainty and the failure we've seen, I did let the intrusive thoughts in on Michkov, and I feel bad. I fought against it. Like, the guy tells me about Yakupov. I'm like, well, here's McKinnon's stats. They're the same. So I don't know. He's the 2nd best forward in hockey. I'd take that. I would absolutely take that. So it's just one of those things. All right. That is all the time we have for you on Philadelphia. Man, even with just one ad break today, the show absolutely flew by. I had a lot of fun. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't already, follow us right here on the YouTube page and hit that like button. And if you're not a part of the Supporters Club, I did something stupid and fun. I recorded a PHLY Cribs at my home studio, my little office, and it's just me walking around saying stupid stuff, breathing heavy. You'd probably like it. Sign up to be a supporter. You'll enjoy it. All right, follow me on Twitter at Philadelphia PHLY, and follow the podcast. Just search Philadelphia. That'll do it for us. I am Bill Matz. Thank you to Tyler Zulli. Till tomorrow, be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.